There have been some crazy love stories in the strange realm of reality TV, where drama is often the main course. But Ballistic Beats and Joseline Hernandez's crazy romance is unrivaled. These two passionate lovers had provided us with all the drama, with as much on-off movement as a light switch, and the headlines couldn't get enough of them. Not to mention their strange personalities. Talk about unpredictable behavior. Just when you think you've seen it all, they throw another curve. Imagine this. While everyone is having a wonderful time at a party and the music is blaring, a crazy guy suddenly, and without any apparent reason, walks in and shuts everything down. I just switched off the lights and urged everyone to get lost. What a buzzkill. Then, without warning, their engagement ends. For the time being, at least Ballistic, the music producer with his own claim to fame, always seemed like the cool guy supporting Joseline, the Puerto Rican princess and former love and hip-hop Atlanta star. Their relationship was a passionate mess, or whatever it was on TV, and fans never got tired of it behind the scenes. Even if Wilder once did this on a quiet Miami afternoon when Joseline had just returned from an event and Ballistic was hard at work in the backstage area. Studio on the surface, everything appeared to be going well, but you could be sure that the drama was going to reach a new height. What happened that day is unknown, but our terrible two keep reading because, believe me, there is more to this story, and the tensions were going to be explosive behind its serene exterior. The easily agitated Joseline was becoming increasingly irritated with their union. There were allegations of infidelity, trust problems, and a total breakdown in communication, all of which are commonly acknowledged indicators of a failing relationship. The pivotal moment occurred when Joseline, in typical fashion, became frustrated over something she had heard, whether or not it was true at the time, and confronted Ballistic with accusations and demands for clarification. As the dispute intensified, the vulnerability that had held them together started to disintegrate as trust concerns and old scars came back to haunt them. Hurry up, man. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Stop acting like we're not teasing each other. Their shouting match climaxed, and they were dumbasses. In a fit of wrath, Joseline abruptly and surprisingly decided to leave my house, with the tone of rage and shouts. Uncompromising and frigid, Ballistic fed someone fruit and said, "Are you serious? Oh, don't tell anybody about what we did today," he said to the small child after saying, "You're a nut. You're not an example." The environment was heated, with everyone mocking one another's fears, the shattered trust, and Joseline's cold demand as charges and accusations were made. Since there was no opportunity for compromise at this moment of unadulterated reality, everyone was left wondering what would happen next. "What's wrong with you? You nut-ass broad?" he shouted angrily. "Are you serious, man? You treat me like a king. I'm not treated disrespectfully by you." He was shocked, overcome with emotion, and unable to respond. After standing at her side through thick and thin, he had only now realized that. Typically aggressive and stubborn, Joseline resisted Ballistic's attempts to reason with her and pleaded for a peaceful conversation. She never backs down from a fight when it comes to defending her peace. Slicing through the tension like a dagger, she repeated it and then showed him the door of the house they had lived in together for months. She experienced both hurt and frustration simultaneously. And treachery. Fans were divided on social media. Some applauded Joseline's decision, while others defended her behavior. The world watched in disbelief as Ballistic, obviously shocked by the abrupt change in circumstances, packed his belongings and left. This time, the drama was real and spontaneous, although it was characteristic of the reality shows where they start together. A real-life drama permeated the digital realm in terms of how it all transpired. In the ensuing stream of emotions, people picked sides or just expressed shock at how easily things fell apart. Some commended Joseline for her refusal to compromise, while others felt she was unduly harsh. In any event, their breakup was the most talked about topic of the day across all major media outlets. Following Ballistic's mysterious social media statement expressing his opinions, fans were talking about the emotional toll of their split and whether there was more. She received praise for her perseverance and for proving on Instagram that sometimes choosing peace necessitates putting oneself first. Respect for oneself, self-control, and personal boundaries, even if it means quitting a relationship that had looked so steady at one point, were her primary arguments. Nobody realized that the breakup drama was at an all-time high as time went on, so people started to wonder if Joseline and Ballistic would ever reconcile. Although they gradually distanced themselves from one another, rumors of a potential reconciliation or a permanent split persisted. Joseline Hernandez, once known as the fearless Puerto Rican princess, had the guts to stand up for herself, as everyone can see. Her choice to put herself before the drama demonstrates that sometimes the boldest thing to do is to leave a society where relationships are closely watched by the public. People noticed Joseline's brave deed and talked about how she prioritized her own needs. Although no one is certain whether it was the right decision or what the future holds, this made a large, bold statement in a society that loves to test relationships. A step closer to empowerment while fans waited and watched the turbulent romance drama between Joseline and Ballistic. Ballistic Beats had to rebuild not just his life, but also his trust and understanding of love. The saga left no doubt that Joseline would not back down. She had taken her choice and was accepting responsibility for it. In anticipation of the next development in this intense love tale, everyone was on edge. When Ballistic was released, their tale reached a turning point in the surreal world of reality TV, where drama and emotion merged truth with fiction. Ballistic Beats and Joseline Hernandez were a spectacle they were on again. Unwavering, Joseline was prepared to face whatever lay ahead, with or without him. Joseline, the queen of her story, never failed to leave her followers wondering, since she was always unsure of what she would do next. Off once more. Hip-hop and past love. Ballistic Beats, a reality TV personality and producer, was consistently depicted as having a supporting boyfriend for Atlanta star and self-described Puerto Rican princess Joseline. Their relationship was far from ideal because of their chaotic behavior and explosive personalities, which frequently made headlines. Fans were unprepared for the catastrophic event that would end their engagement. Television and social media, every public fight, breakup, and makeover went viral on social media, and their relationship's highs and lows were a reality TV dream come true. This most recent incident increased the stakes to a whole new level, leaving their followers wondering what was going on behind the scenes, even if they were always interested in what would happen next. In the end, Joseline had to take charge of her life and rebuild her reputation. It was up to her and the future to decide what would happen next in the fascinating world of real-life love. Ballistic was deep in the studio working on his music when Joseline returned from a promotional event in Miami. From the outside, everything appeared to be silent. However, things were getting hotter behind the scenes. Due to her volcanic temper, poor communication, a lack of trust, and accusations of adultery, all of which are indicators that a relationship is doomed, Joseline had become weary of their partnership. Joseline abruptly lost it over something she had heard about a couple who was in the news. At the time, she was furious and demanding explanations, so the facts didn't really matter. Trust steadily declined as old problems resurfaced with a vengeance. A broken vulnerability was all that remained. Voices began to fall apart like the glue that had held them together. Joseline continued to be relentless, her remarks becoming more and more scathing by the second, and she dropped the bomb just when things couldn't be much worse. The home was filled with the sound of Rose's voice. The words "get out of my house" lingered there, laden with emotion, in a brutal and cruel voice. Ballistic was speechless, visibly upset and startled, even though Joseline tried to maintain the messy reality of breakups was what these two were going through, even though it seemed like something from a theatrical movie. Now that the tension had completely eased, she had no intention of giving up. All Ballistic could do was stand there, still reeling from the demands, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Full-color reality, he had always been there for her through good times and bad, but suddenly he realized that the basis of their relationship had been shattered. Despite his attempts to reason with her and plead for a calm conversation, Joseline persisted. With a voice as harsh and clear as a razor, the tough reality TV star who never backs down from a fight, especially when it threatens her peace, said, "You need to go." Then, with her feelings churning with rage, hurt, and disappointment, she took him out of the house they had shared for several months. Betrayal. Everyone was captivated by the drama as Ballistic, obviously stunned by the outcome, packed up his belongings and departed. This felt like one of those situations from their reality programs, but it was real life following the Oreo social media debacle. Fans were talking about it nonstop. Some were taken aback by Joseline's action. Although she received encouragement and support from others for advocating for herself, there are instances when choosing peace is the only option. Afterwards, Joseline posted on Instagram to remind everyone that having your own dignity and setting personal limits must come first, even if it means ending a relationship that appeared to continue forever.